It's mid-December and I have still not hit my Goodreads reading goal. So this week we're going to be doing a take on swapping my screen time with reading. So I work full-time. I am in office 8 to 4:30 every day, Monday to Friday. And so my screen time in general is pretty low because I don't really have time to be on my phone that much, but it's still higher than I would like. And because of that, I don't know if I can fully commit to reading every day for my screen time for that day. What we're going to do instead is, and this is inspired by a video that Sarah Caroli did, we're going to convert the number of times I pick up my phone to minutes and read for that amount of time. So it'll be a little bit less than my screen time, but we should still be making a significant dent in my TBR. So I'm gonna do this for 5 days. Today's Monday. We're gonna do this Monday to Friday. Let's find out how long I need to read today. So we're gonna be going based off my screen time from last week. And as you can see, last week on Monday, I was somehow still on my phone for 2 hours and 32 minutes. I don't know how. I don't know where I get that time. So instead, we're going to scroll down here to the pickups. So the number of times I picked up my phone, which seems to be majority for messages, which makes sense. And that is 74. So today we're going to read for 74 minutes. So we'll set a timer for that. I am currently reading Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I think I can finish it in that time. I have this much of the book left. I also want to read some holiday books, or at least a holiday book in this video, because we're getting very close to Christmas. I want this to be like a little festive reading vlog. Vlog? Did I say blog? Vlog. This will probably be what we read next. Anyway, let's get started. I'm on page 273 right now, and I am actually surprised by how much I'm liking this book. Not that I thought I wouldn't like it, because like I bought it and I'd heard really good things about it, but historical fantasy I'm very iffy with, and it takes me a while to like get into it, if I can even get into it. But this one has surprised me in a good way. This chapter is so cute. I feel like something horrible is gonna happen. So I ended up finishing Divine Rivals last night. I think I read about 30 minutes over my timer because I wasn't gonna stop reading at that point. I was so close to finishing this book. And I actually really enjoyed this book. And not that I thought I wouldn't like it, it just didn't interest me that much. So I kind of had lower expectations, even though I'd heard really good things about it. I feel like this is definitely more of a magical realism almost than a fantasy book. The only real elements of magic in this is the typewriters and then the gods. And the rest of it I think is very human, which I really enjoyed reading. I think this focuses on the individual in war really well, and it tells a very intriguing story. And to me, that was like the highlight of this book. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the romance I was kind of iffy on. It did grow on me a lot in the last like quarter of the book. They're really cute. It was really like beautifully written. It's still definitely not like my favorite fantasy couple, but I did enjoy it. I think the thing is it felt a little bit rushed to me. Like there wasn't that much development between these two characters, but I also think that could be just because this is a bit of an unclear timeline. Like I don't know how much time passes from the start of this book to the end of this book. I think it's like months, but that's my guess. I don't know. I also think it's set in the 1800s. I'm pretty sure it does say that. It's like the late 1800s. All that to say, I really enjoyed this book. It ended on kind of a big cliffhanger, so I will be reading the second one, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Now, today is Tuesday, and we're going based off of last Tuesday's screen time. So last Tuesday, I picked up my phone 77 times, which is only like 3 more times than yesterday. Oh my god, not the Tim Hortons app being in my top used apps. What was I doing? However, I think I am going to carry over the extra time I read last night to today because tomorrow I'm gonna be really busy and I think I can read for a long enough time today that I can kind of carry some over to tomorrow, if that makes sense. If I have to read for 77 minutes today, minus 30 from last night, 47 minutes. I think it's 47 minutes. Heartstopper Volume 5 came out this, well, actually I don't think it's technically out in North America yet, but this was at my Indigo, so I bought it. I technically have read this because I'm subscribed to Alice's Patreon, so I was reading the panels as they were coming out, but I really want to read like the whole thing together in one go, and I honestly think I can probably read this in like an hour because it is a comic, so it's a very fast read. So we're gonna start with this. So it's Thursday now, and I don't think I spoke to you yesterday, which we are going to get to. I just got back from work in the gym and I took an everything shower and I feel all cozy now and ready to read a lot because yesterday I think I only read for like 20 minutes on my lunch break, and then I had plans after work, and then I immediately went to sleep. So we ended yesterday with this much time left to read. And we are going to add that to the time that we have to read today. Last Thursday, I picked up my phone 93 times. So we need to add that to the time from yesterday. I'm doing math. 8 plus 3, 11. Okay, so today we need to read for 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 42 seconds, which I have a half day at work tomorrow. Therefore, my brain is like, I don't need to sleep. So we got this. We got this. We'll be fine. So I have finished Heartstopper Volume 5. I loved it. I knew I was gonna love it because I have already read it, but it's really nice to read like the physical book and read it all through at once. I think Alice Oseman does such a good job of tackling young adult issues, but with the perspective that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just so beautifully, authentically written, and I'm so attached to these characters, and I cannot wait for season 3 of the show because it's going to follow Volume 4 and Volume 5, so like the plot of this book is going to be in the next season of the show, and it's so good. I gave it 5 stars. I knew it was gonna be 5 stars. We still have 2 hours and 40 minutes left. So we're going to start 3 Holidays and a Wedding, because this is gonna be like my Christmassy read of the year. I think this is just over 300 pages, so it should be a pretty fast read. I don't think I can finish it tonight because I think I overestimate how many pages I read in an hour. I'm going to start this. As much as I would love to start Powerless right now because I bought it recently, this is the festive vibes that we need. It's 11:30, 11:34 to be exact, and I finished all my time of reading my 3 hours and 11 minutes or whatever it was. Try not to talk too loudly because people are sleeping in my house. I think I have to DNF this, guys. I'm just over 100 pages in and it is dragging. I don't know. I don't really care about the characters. I feel like it's kind of boring. The guys are giving me the ick in this. All of them. Every single one. And I'm Canadian. Okay, that's why one of the reasons I picked up this book. It was like on display at my bookstore. And this takes place in like a small Canadian town. And even I'm annoyed by the amount of references, like Canadian references. Like, it's annoying. There's a full chapter where two characters are just talking about two of the like local hockey teams. Local, like the Toronto and Ottawa hockey teams. And they're going to like lore, like hockey lore. And I'm like, did they write this for my dad? Like, I don't understand. Why is there's just so much unnecessary detail that like is boring. And one of my goals this year was to not force myself to read books that I really don't think I'm gonna enjoy, because there's so many books I want to read. And if I'm over a third of the way into this book and it feels like a chore, I just really don't want to make myself finish it just to finish it. I'm not a huge like holiday book person anyway, because I feel like it's really hard for them not to be like super cheesy or cringy. But I feel like The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary, which I read a few weeks ago, was a much better like holiday-ish book, because it's not the main focus, but it takes place around Christmas time and it just was like kind of festive-y vibes. I think for the last day of this challenge, I'm gonna start reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts, because I bought it recently and I literally have wanted to read it since the second I bought it, which is also not helping the situation of this book. I will see you tomorrow. So it is Saturday, and originally I intended to film this video Monday to Friday, but yesterday I had like a Christmassy day with my best friend and then she slept over, and so I just didn't read. So we're just gonna pretend today is Friday. Last week on Friday I picked up my phone 67 times, which means we had to read for 67 minutes. Don't know why the first pickup was at 4:11 in the morning. I don't know what I was doing. Since we DNF'd the 3 Holidays and a Wedding book, I'm going to start reading Powerless. I have wanted to read this since the second I bought it, and I can't stop thinking about it. I haven't even read it, so maybe I'll hate it. I don't know, but I have high hopes for this. So I think this is what we're going to read. I'm standing because I just put together a new bookshelf and my back really hurts. You guys will see it soon. I'm going to lie on a heating pad for a little bit and hope that helps, and read Powerless. So it is Sunday now. I did read last night. I read my hour and 7 minutes. I just had an increasingly terrible headache developing, so I immediately went to sleep after. And I think because of that, I was also reading slower because I only read like 40 pages of Powerless. But I am enjoying it so far. I think the writing style is very easy to get into, easy to understand, which I appreciate. And I like that it's dual perspective. So Kai and Payton are the main characters, the enemies to lovers. And we get both their perspectives immediately, both in first person. So we learn a lot about them kind of right away, which is nice. I can't really say much else because I'm literally only 38 pages in or something, yeah. But it's a very beautiful book. Like the chapter pages are very nice. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on the book when I finish it, you can follow me on Goodreads or Instagram, always linked down below. But that concludes our week of swapping screen time with reading. And it appears that my screen time this week did not change from last week. It's like to the minute the exact same. I'm actually kind of surprised by it. I don't understand how I spend that much time on my phone. Like, I genuinely don't know. but at least it didn't go up. So if you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe down below. I hope everyone is having an amazing, happy holiday season, and I will see you in the next one.